Hey, what's up, everyone? MonadoMax here. And today we're doing our annual E3 predictions. Although I guess we can't really say it's annual since last year it didn't happen. But we're making it an annual thing now. I have some guests with me today to discuss our predictions for Nintendo's E3. Now, I will say, we all think Smash Bros. Is going to be at E3, but we're going to be having a separate video coming out later down the road talking about our Smash Bros. E3 predictions. So, without further ado, I'm going to announce my guests. Today we have Itachi Cosplays with me today.
Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well.
We have Technology Gaming with us today.
How's it going, man? Good to be here.
I'm going to start off with a prediction. I believe we are going to be seeing a Kirby game announced this year at E3. The reason why I say that, the Kirby developers have been talking about a brand new Kirby game for a few years now, and they've talked about how they believe it's going to be the best Kirby game they've ever made. It's Kirby's 35th anniversary. I don't know if it would come out this year, but I am 99% sure they would announce something for Kirby this year. I'm predicting it's actually going to be a 3D Kirby game.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's going to be...
I have Kirby as a 50-50. I think that it's coming, but I think they might not be ready to show something yet. I think it's going to be next year.
Next year?
That's what I have on my list, but I think it's coming. I would be thrilled if it's a 3D Kirby, though. So would my son.
I honestly hope a 3D Kirby game is going to happen. And the only reason why I'm saying I believe there's a 3D Kirby game, when Kirby Fighters 2 came out, a lot of people looked into the code. A lot of data mines were found of Kirby 3D in the code for whatever reason. And I think that's kind of weird unless, they're making an actual Kirby 3D game. So that's what I'm thinking. Itachi, you're up next.
Yeah, so I also have Kirby listed, but I also have it as a 50-50. I do think it's coming. I know it's in development because of everything they've said. They know they want it to be the best that they've ever made. They want to elevate the series to a new level. I also think it's going to be 3D. That would make me really, really, really happy.
All right, Ty, you're up. What's something on your list?
Okay, so I think we're definitely going to see something Metroid. I don't know whether it's going to be Metroid Prime 4 or Prime Trilogy or a 2D Metroid. I know all of those have a lot of speculation around. One or more of those things is going to happen, I think, at E3. I think the likeliest is the 2D Metroid, because from the leaks it seems like that game's already done and they're just sitting on it right now. Mm-hmm. But if they can they could do all three, who knows? But I think probably a 2D Metroid, and then maybe a teaser of Metroid Prime 4, because that got rebooted, like the development got rebooted like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And we've heard nothing, and it's already been announced, so they may re-tease something, maybe probably not a release date. I think it's going to be a next year game, and I'm 50-50 on the Prime Trilogy, but that's my next one. I think Metroid is a lock for something showing up at E3.
So I originally had something Metroid on my list. I feel like I'm all over the place with Metroid. Me personally, after thinking, I thought about it all day. This is one of the many things I just spent hours thinking about, because this is a very important thing to think about, as if a new Metroid game is going to be announced at E3. I believe we're not going to see anything Metroid except Fortnite. I think this is where they're going to announce a Nintendo collaboration. Me personally, I don't think it would be Samus. I personally think it would be Link that would be in Fortnite. I talked to a friend of mine that's like a Fortnite guy. Apparently there's this whole like bounty hunter thing that they've got going in Fortnite right now. And if that's the case, then it's probably going to be Samus then. Mm-hmm. But my understanding, though, a few months ago is that Nintendo and Epic Games were having troubles agreeing on a deal to get a character on with Fortnite. So, and I know that Epic and Apple thing that happened. There was like Metroid concept art for some reason in their documents, which is kind of weird. One thing I have on my list here is actually Pokemon's actually going to be separate from the Nintendo presentation of E3. I think they're probably going to be doing a Pokemon Presents probably within the week of Nintendo's E3 press conference. Normally, Pokemon is separate from Nintendo's press conference. That's what they've always done in E3 week.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that to be the same case, although we are filming this on the day that the new Pokemon information, like release date information, came out. Maybe they're planning on not doing a Pokemon Present since they went ahead and announced that stuff. I don't know, but if there is Pokemon stuff, I'm pretty sure it's going to be separate from Nintendo's E3.
I think so too.
Tachi, you're up.
I agree. I agree. I have Pokemon Presents listed here, that they'll do Pokemon Presents and it'll be the week before E3. I think they focused on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Mm-hmm. And I do, however, think that because they'll be focused on those, that we will get a Legends of Arceus trailer at the actual E3 presentation. I think we could get a trailer for that. Because originally I had it that they weren't going to show it at all, but because today they announced that it's actually coming out in January of next year, I believe that we could get some info on that. Aside from Pokemon, I do have Metroid also listed, and I think Metroid 2D, 2D Metroid, is a lock. I also think that's a lock. I think that game was supposed to come out last year, and I think it's already done. I'm 50-50 on Prime Trilogy, and I don't think we see Metroid Prime 4 at all.
The new Donkey Kong, since that leaked, it's pretty all over the place.
Interesting.
I would be surprised if they don't say something about it, even if it's just a announcement.
So with the Donkey Kong stuff, I do have Donkey Kong listed. I think it's going to be a gameplay trailer. I think they're going to announce what the game's going to be, but I'm expecting it to come out next year. I know a lot of people are thinking they're doing something this year. With everything Nintendo's got planned for this year, I don't see Donkey Kong making the list. If it happens, that's cool, but I think it's going to be a 2022 release. So
go ahead.
One thing that I am pretty sure is going to be announced. Now, the question is it going to be this year or is it going to be next year? I believe we're going to see another Fire Emblem game announced during E3. It's been leaked already that it's going to be a remake. This has been something a lot of people have been talking about. I originally thought this game was coming out this year, but due to it not being announced yet, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a next year game. The rumors are that it's a Path of Radiance remake for the Switch. I don't think it's going to be that, but if that ends up happening, that'd be pretty cool. Either way, I do think it's going to be a Fire Emblem remake of one of the games, and it'll be slated for early next year, and it'll be probably a little bit of gameplay there. Tachi, you're up.
So for Fire Emblem, I have that also listed, and I do have it as a remake. It seems, from what I've seen and heard, it seems that people think it's gonna be a Fire Emblem 4 remake, which is Fire Emblem and Genealogy of the Holy War.
I've seen people think that too. And then last month there was something that came out about Path of Radiance, so now the communities are split on what it's gonna be.
Okay. I think that there will be Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
It'll probably be another trailer.
Yeah.
I think because last time was a teaser trailer, I think we'll get a story trailer this time.
I think you're right. I know a lot of people might think, because Nintendo doesn't really show stuff that's going to come out in a year from now. They usually like to show stuff that's coming out this year, and sometimes they'll show what's coming next year. But I do believe you're correct on that, because, it just makes sense for E3 to have Splatoon 3. That's just a great marketing tool. Story trailer does make sense. I'm going to put that on my list now, because I completely forgot about that. So I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. Ty, you're up.
Okay, so I have a few things. I don't think we're going to see Mario Kart 9. And also, I don't know if it's going to be E3, but around this June-ish, I think we're going to get Animal Crossing update with Zelda items announced, or an island expansion update. But they may do that separate from their E3 presentation. Those are the next two on my list.
I feel like the Animal Crossing stuff is like something for Nintendo Treehouse if they do that this year.
Yeah, it may be adjacent, but I had it on my list around this time. I think they will do the Zelda items, maybe Zelda villagers like they had in New Leaf.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be really cool, actually.
They haven't done any new villagers.
That is true. Alrighty then. So that leaves me back to me. So I'm gonna go with one that I'm like 100% sure not gonna happen, and that's the Switch Pro. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna talk about the Switch Pro here. If they do, that'd be interesting. I know some people might think that that's a possibility, especially if it were to come out this year. If a Switch Pro is to come out this year, I feel like Nintendo's gonna like talk about it in September and then announce a release date for November, because that's just a Nintendo thing to do, to announce like a major product coming out in 2 months. They've done it with all their revision consoles before, with the new 3DS and all of that. So I don't think the Switch Pro is going to be here. And if the Switch Pro is there, I'm expecting it to be there. Like, I don't know if you guys saw E3 2018, was it, with when they had Smash Bros. How they had like 30 minutes of Smash Bros. If the Switch Pro is to be there, I think they're going to have like a 30-minute segment towards the Switch Pro. But I legit don't think it's going to be there this year. Tachi, you're up.
I don't think it's going to be there either. I have, let's see, my list is a little scattered. Let's see. Okay.
Can I jump in? Can we, before we move off of this Switch Pro, can I jump in and say that I'm like, so we're at the 5-month mark from when it's supposedly supposed to be released as of June, and the original Switch was announced 5 months before its release. And so I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm not 100%. I'm probably 50-50, but I really want to say that I think they're gonna talk about the new Switch at this. And if they do that, I think it will set up all their entire lineup to be like optimized for the new Switch, which could be huge. But I do think it's not going to be next gen. I think it's obviously going to be a revision, but I'm going to be the odd man out and say that I had it on my list that I'm kind of 50-50, but I'm really hoping that they go this route and announce it early.
I think I'm gonna throw two things here. This one's a smaller one. I think they'll have you know how they always have these sizzle reels?
Yes.
Like near the end. They usually have one for indies and one for like, I don't know if it's just for indies or for bigger games, but I think they'll just have a sizzle reel. I think Sonic will be in that sizzle reel, and I think because Sonic is having their event tomorrow, and I think they're gonna have a lot of indie games there. And I think Sports Story could be in it. So Sports Story might get its own slot. Silk Song is obviously not going to be there. She already said that they won't, unfortunately, which makes me sad. But the bigger thing that I want to get to, I just want to mention the sizzle reel. I think that there is a chance that they finally show off Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3. Wow. Oof.
I have that on my low likelihood list.
I think Beach Pizza Gaming would really like to see Bayonetta 3 announced again.
Everyone would freak out.
I don't know. I really feel like the development of that game's not going well. I know they're saying it is, but I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those cases that they just announced it way too early. I don't think Bayonetta 3 is going to be here this year. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. But every time I have Bayonetta 3 on my list, it never happens. So maybe
has anything happened since the who was it? Someone said like, don't think about Bayonetta 3 or something. Like has there?
That was the last thing. That was the last thing.
Yeah, because so he's going with a few like a few excuses. He's like, it's going well, but don't ask yet. And then like, uh, well, there was one interview I think where he said something along the lines of, we didn't want to show Bayonetta 3 because we didn't want to take away from Astral Chain. Astral Chain has been out, but we still haven't gotten anything from Bayonetta 3. So I'm hoping. We usually see Platinum games. We usually see them at E3s. So I'm hoping.
You are more than likely to get an announcement of Okami 2 as a thing instead of getting
God.
Bayonetta 3. Actually, to add on to what you're saying, I'm throwing this out there. I know it's never going to happen, but I have predicted it all the time in all my predictions, and it's never ended up happening. I'm just going to say this for traditional stake. Fallout 4 for the Nintendo Switch will be announced in the Sizzle Reel. I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not. But I have been saying Fallout 4 on the Nintendo Switch would be happening since 2018. I'm still a believer in it. I know it's very unlikely with, Microsoft.
Microsoft, yeah.
But 2021 still going strong for the Fallout 4 Nintendo Switch port because, one day it's going to happen. All right, Ty, you're up.
Okay, I have two quick things. I think we're going to get a new remake of some first-party 90s Nintendo game, whether it's like Punch-Out, Excite Bike, or something that's not that hasn't been around for a while. I think we're going to get a remake out of nowhere. And separately, I also think we're going to get some new first-party IP announcement that's just out of left field. Those are my two very vague predictions that I think will both happen.
All right, so I have one third party.
Or
thing.
Mario Sports or something. Sorry, I
Okay.
had that down too. Maybe a Mario Sports game.
Okay.
I got one third party thing in here that I feel is probably unlikely, but watch this be the year that gets announced. I feel like it's possible we could be seeing some more Persona stuff for the Switch. It's been over a year, but by the time this presentation happens, it's been over a year since Persona 4 Golden has hit the PC. Sega, for whatever reason, was so surprised that game sold over 1 million copies. I think they realized that they need to put more stuff on other consoles that's not PlayStation, especially for the Persona name. I feel like it's possible we could be getting an announcement of Persona 4 Golden hitting the Switch, and if this happens, I'm gonna throw a wild one out there, but they're gonna announce that Persona 4 Golden will be available on the Nintendo eShop immediately after the E3 present. Yeah,
yes, I was just gonna say that I think that they could announce. Okay, so what I had listed is there's a chance that they could announce Golden to be a shadow drop that day.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that, they could also. This ties into something else that's not Nintendo that I'm predicting. So I'm gonna just throw that so it makes for context purposes. I'm gonna just throw this in there. Mm-hmm. I think Sega is also going to be at the Xbox Microsoft presentation. I think they're going to announce Golden for that, and I think they're going to announce Royal for Game Pass. And I think they could announce Golden for a shadow drop at the Nintendo Direct, and I think they could potentially announce Royal for a later date.
Alright everyone, I'm up now. I am about to say something really crazy, but I just want everyone to stay with me right now. I'm going to explain to you something that I am very passionate about that's happening this year. I believe, well actually let me explain one thing. Nintendo already usually announces their holiday game by now. They usually announce it at actually the direct that they always have in the beginning of the year. They didn't announce their holiday game of the year in that direct. You know why they didn't announce a holiday game this year? Because the game's already announced. It's called Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. I think they're going to show Breath of the Wild 2 at the very end of the E3 presentation. It's going to be like a dramatic trailer. It's going to be very similar to what they showed with the Nintendo Switch presentation, where they announced it would be a launch day game. I think at the end of the trailer, they're going to show a 2021 release date for December. Because they just announced November would be Pokemon. I doubt Nintendo would want to put Zelda and Pokemon in the same month. Maybe they will do that. I don't know. I mean, if we look at the Wii U days, they released Smash Bros. And Pokemon on the same day before. So, I don't know. Anything's possible. But I believe Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year and is going to be their major holiday game of the year. I have more Zelda stuff, but I'm going to have Itachi go.
Yeah, so I agree 100%. Well, I agree that they're going to show it off. I am still iffy on it being the 2021 release date, but I really, really hope so. I think that they're trying. I think that they're trying their best to get it to be November. I don't even know if they're sure that it's going to be November, but I think that they are trying their best to do that. I think it is possible for it to be November instead of December. It also depends. This one, it might not seem like a big deal, but it might be a big deal to them. The Game Awards, if it comes out in December, it's probably not going to be eligible for the Game Awards until next year. And it depends how important the Game Awards are to Nintendo, because they are increasing in viewership every year. And Nintendo does seem pretty involved in the Game Awards every year that they do it, and Zelda does usually have a presence there. Plus, it could be like a rematch with Horizon 2, but that's a different thing. But so I think they're trying. I think it could land. I think it could land in December. I think if it doesn't land in December, I don't think it's until March of next year. I also think that along with Breath of the Wild 2, they're going to show a few other Zelda things. Like Ty said, I think they're going to have an Animal Crossing presentation. I think that'll also be for a Treehouse. But going with the Treehouse idea, I think they're going to dedicate a whole day of Treehouse during E3 to Zelda itself. Just making a bunch of Zelda announcements, showing off Breath of the Wild 2, showing off the Animal Crossing update. Maybe they're making a Zelda 35 or another Nintendo Switch Online exclusive game that involves Zelda. I think that's also possible.
Interesting. All right, I like that.
Okay, I have all these things. Okay, I think the Zelda. So here's what I think. I think they're gonna at some point announce the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and they're gonna. I think they're gonna announce it as a launch title for the new Switch. And I also agree that I think it's gonna be a November 2021 release with the new Switch. And I think they're gonna do some huge build up for it. I also think that there is gonna be a Nintendo Switch Online Zelda presence, whether it's a Zelda 35 or some type of multiplayer. I think it's gonna be retro feeling, whether it's some like speedrun thing or something.
An idea that I've had with that is like, so obviously they have Zelda Four Swords. What if they somehow incorporated that with the Switch Online, make that like a free download game? I don't know.
Yeah, I
cool.
think there's gonna be some sort of online Zelda experience for I think they'll announce something like that. Less likely, I think the Twilight Princess Wind Waker thing. I don't think that would generate a ton of. I mean, people will get excited about it, but I have that on my list as a 50-50. But my big thing is I think they're gonna. Sorry, excuse me. The big thing I think is that they're going to announce Breath of the Wild 2 release date alongside the new Switch release date, and then piggyback all the other games. I think there's a possibility that the Pokemon. What was the release date for that? November
19th, I think, is what was
19th. That sounds like a perfect date for a new console release date. Along with, can you imagine? Especially if we start seeing multiple releases on that. I mean, I don't know. It's possible that it is odd that we have a release date for Pokemon around the time when supposedly a new console's launching. It seems like that's out of order. especially since there was no demand for a release date for that game yet. So that throws a little wrench in, but my bold prediction is also Breath of the Wild 2 as a launch title for the new Switch in November.
Alrighty then. So that leaves me with me. So I do have a lot of what you guys say. Although I have some... so I do think we're getting Zelda ports. I believe we're going to get Ocarina of Time. We're going to get not Breath of the Wild, that's already on the Switch. We got Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I think it's possible they could be making a whole collection out of that. Although, I could see Nintendo being real slick, because they really like to just make people mad. They could make 2 separate collections. One featuring Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, priced as a $60 game, and then make a whole nother collection with Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Because I feel like they are going to have those 4 games on the Switch, but I can't see Nintendo having all 4 in one cartridge, or just one big package for $60.
I agree.
I don't see Nintendo doing that. I mean, I would love that, but I don't see them being like, let's leave one game out, because if they put all 4 of those games on the Switch would literally have every mainline Zelda in terms of 3D. I don't see them missing out on getting, like, I know the odd one out that people are looking at, which would likely be, like, put out of the collection if we don't get this one, and that would be Majora's Mask, because you kind of have to have Ocarina of Time on the Switch in the collection, and Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD is so easy to put on the Switch right now with, well, I'm not so easy, but you get what I mean.
Well, all of them would be, because they've already built an emulator for N64 and GameCube games now with the Mario 3D All-Stars.
And that's another thing. I'm wondering if it's going to be like the 3DS ones, not the 64 ones, if they did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Oh, true.
I feel like there would be some controversy if they didn't go with the 3DS ones, but I don't think Nintendo cares about controversy. So, you know what? Okay. You know, I don't know.
I don't think they care. I think that you're right. I think they'll do 2 collections, but however, I think it's going to be a little different. I think they're going to fit Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD into one cartridge, or 2 cartridges, but in like one collection. Oh, probably 2, probably 1. I don't know. But that'll be its own collection. I don't know when it'll release, but I think that'll be 1. And I think they'll do a dual pack of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the eShop. I don't think
no.
I think it'll be the N64 versions. I think it'll be like $30.
$30. Man, that would be awesome. Well, actually, digitally, I wouldn't like that, but $30 would be awesome.
Digital only.
Although, I don't think Nintendo and the word $30 goes together. One more thing that I have on my list. I have like one major announcement that they're gonna... I don't know what they would announce, to be honest with you. I think they're gonna have some like jaw-dropping thing to announce that no one's expecting. I kind of threw the idea around of Mario Odyssey 2, or it's the brand new 3D Mario game. I don't know, since I know some of the Odyssey team is developing this new Donkey Kong game. I know not all of the Odyssey team is doing this Donkey Kong game. So, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be doing other Mario games or not. I feel like there's going to be something big, and it's going to be like coming soon. I don't know. Something like Metroid Prime 4, how they announced the CGI trailer, all that stuff. That's all my predictions. I have a bunch of third-party stuff, but the main thing is just Persona 4 Golden. I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy. I mean, if Fallout 4 was announced, I'd flip over that, since I was manifesting that for years.
My long shot is a Xbox Game Pass announcement on the Switch.
That would be so cool.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be so cool.
I'm tied into xCloud.
xCloud, yeah. I guess, xCloud is more accurate, but that's my long shot, but I don't think it's happening.
Oh, wait, one more thing I think they're going to announce. I think they're going to announce, like, a new Switch, or not new Switch, new Joy-Cons, new something to be, like...
Okay.
Hardware.
Yeah, like, they just released that new Switch Lite. They're going to show something off like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, like, a Zelda-themed Lite. I don't know. That seems like that would sell, since everyone buys everything when it comes to themed Nintendo consoles. Anyways,
Can I throw one quick thing?
Yeah.
Why I think with the new Switch, I think they're going to keep pushing the light harder and harder because I think the new Switch is not going to be a lot of boosted internals on the console. I think it's going to be the dock. I've been saying it for a while. I think that's where all the hardware, the beefiest hardware is going to be in that dock that they're announcing. That's why I think that the light I think is going to remain a main. I don't think it's going to be obsolete anytime soon. I think they're going to keep pushing that harder and harder as they transition the Switch to this new Switch with a boosted dock. Especially since the new screen's supposed to be still be 720p. I think they're just going to focus on better frame rates in handheld mode and then the upscaling in the dock and like the smart ups, the AI upscaling. That's why I think that I totally agree with the new Switch Lite revisions. I think they're going to start pushing more and more of those out despite a new regular Switch.
Okay.
Wait, I just realized. Okay, I'm throwing this out there. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Me personally, I feel like that might be announced next year, not this year, but I'm throwing it out there in case it were to be announced.
It's Monolith. I heard they're doing new IP.
Yes.
In the universe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They've been developing this new IP for a few years. I guess that's a you're talking about a new IP being announced. That might be the new IP, to be honest with you, because that's been developed for a very long time.
Yeah. I was gonna list it at the very end. I think Monolith Soft will be there. I think the three options. They could announce Xenoblade 3.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Pyra and Mytha just got announced for Smash, not just, but they got announced for Smash. So I think Monolith Soft is gonna have a presence. It could be Xenoblade 3. It could be the new IP that they've been working on. Monolith Soft is going to have a presence either way because they're working on Breath of the Wild 2 with Nintendo, so there's that. And I think there's also a chance that they could do Xenoblade X Definitive Edition.
Oh man, that would be so awesome. That'd be so awesome. Okay then, do you guys have any last minute predictions before we wrap up?
I have one last thing.
Alright, you go ahead.
I have one last thing listed here, and it's because I was looking at all of Nintendo's teams, and we do not know what this team is up to at the moment. The last release was Luigi's Mansion 3. We don't know what Next Level Games is doing. We don't. They're probably working on Luigi's Mansion 4 because of how well it sold, but we don't know what else they're working on. And Nintendo did buy them last year, I believe, or early this year.
I think it was earlier this year that they were bought them.
Yeah, Nintendo recently bought them. So they could be working on Luigi's Mansion 4. They could be working on a new IP. Maybe Nintendo gave them a new IP. Maybe Nintendo gave them an existing IP. Or in the off chance that they could be working finally on a new Strikers, but I doubt that one. But I think the Luigi's Mansion 4, or whatever the next one's going to be, I think that one's out of the question. I don't think we're going to see that until either at the end of the Switch life cycle or beginning of the next system. I think there's a chance that it could be a Strikers or a new project that they've never worked on.
So to add on what you're saying, I am going to say we're not going to see any more Next Level games on the Switch. I think they're already working on Luigi's Mansion 4. I think the whole team's working on that. I think they're going to push that for the next Nintendo console as maybe a launch title, to be honest.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That's what I'm predicting. Since that game sold so well, it sold way beyond anyone's expectations. It's almost over 10 million copies, which is a very big deal. So I'm expecting that's going to be something Nintendo's going to be very pushing for going forward. Alrighty then, guys. I'm going to have you guys plug yourself, starting with Itachi, and I'll do our outro. Alright, Itachi, plug yourself.
Alright, so you guys can find me on twitch.tv/ItachiCosplays. I stream Mondays through Saturdays. Monday through Friday is 8 p.m. Pacific. Friday is around 9 to 10 p.m. Pacific. It varies depending on what time I'm available. And I do playthroughs, I play games with viewers, I do a podcast, and sometimes I do video game music trivia.
Speaking of his podcast, I'll be on there eventually for E3. We don't know what date yet. But,
Yes, it's either going to be next Friday or It's either gonna be June 4th or June 11th. I still don't know the exact date that I'm gonna have it.
All right, Ty, you're up.
Yeah, I am. I do a YouTube channel called Technology Gaming. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and we do a podcast called the Tycast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube and Twitch. I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tynology. I do a lot of videos about accessories and predictions and all sorts of fun stuff. And yeah,
It's a really
That's
cool
it.
channel. You guys should really check out his channel. He puts a lot of
and
lot
Max
of work
is
in
on
there.
the Tycast every week.
Oh yeah, that is true. I am on the Tycast. This is a great time to plug that because I don't plug that in my videos enough. So yeah, I'm a part of his podcast. I'm usually there every week. I haven't missed an episode yet, but it's inevitably gonna happen.
You're
eventually.
9 for 9. Yeah, we're episode 10.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, it was great having you guys on. I'm very pumped for E3, very much since we didn't have an E3 last year. So it's going to be cool. Even if it's garbage, I'm still going to enjoy it. Might be a little sour over it if it's garbage, but it's still going to be great nonetheless. Thank you guys for coming on. Alrighty, guys. So make sure that you like the video. Check out my Twitter. Follow me on... check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. / that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.